In this video, we'll answer the question, what is a major scale? Go ahead and take a look at my keyboard here and just look at all of the white notes. If you could imagine I played from this C to this C using only the white keys, that would be a C major scale. So a scale is simply a collection of notes that go together, and we're playing them. When we say a major scale, it's a very particular order of notes. It's a set that fits together in a certain way, and we're going from one key all the way to the top key and back down. But if we're learning music theory, we have to know what this set is. How do we come up with this set? And there are two ways to do it. One is, if you go ahead and take a look at the C major scale, this is the easiest one to start with because it's all the white keys. Let's write down, let me move it over here. Let's write down what all of the intervals are, and we'll just use whole steps and half steps since that's what all of these are. Well, the first one from C to D is a whole step. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and take a look back at those interval videos. So we're skipping the C sharp, of course, we're going to this one. That's a whole step. So we start with, I'm just going to write W for whole, H for half. Whole step, then there's another whole step. Here's a half step. Here's a whole step. Here's a whole step. Here's a whole step. And we don't see it on this keyboard, but we would be coming back to the next C up, which would be a half step. If you'd like to see what that looks like, we can take a look at this. There's our C, right? Here's our B, second to last key, and right after that is a half step. It's another C. So this pattern, whatever we start with, we go up a whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. This pattern is the same pattern we would see on any key, wherever we're going to make our major scale. So for instance, let's take a look at the bigger keyboard, and let's use this pattern, and let's come up with let's do a B flat major scale. So this is a different one, but let's use the pattern. Well, a whole step up from B flat would be C, right? Another whole step would be D. A half step would be E flat. A whole step would be F. A whole step would be G. A whole step would be B. And a final whole step would be B flat. By the way, I'm using a key that has flats in it. I'm saying B flat. So if I have a key with flats in it, I can't say sharp ever. I can't call this a D sharp, right? I have to call it an E flat. Flat stay flat, sharp stay sharp. Another way to think about that is as I'm saying the letters, I have to use only one of every letter name. In other words, in a major scale, I can't say B flat and B sharp, which was B sharp, of course, would be C, but I can't use the same letter name more than once. I can't say B flat and B natural even, right? I can say B flat at the bottom and B flat at the top. That's the same note. That's okay. Let's try another one. Let's try G. So we'll do G major. So start with a whole step, that's A. Another whole step, that's B. Half step is C. Whole step, D. Whole step, E. A whole step brings me to this black key. And is it F sharp or G flat? Well, I haven't, given you any information yet to know if it's a flat key or a sharp key yet, but you do know that G is already taken. I've said G something, I've said G. So I can't call this G flat. I have to call it F sharp. And then there's G, right? Also, if I didn't call it F sharp, I would be missing an F something. I have to have an F something. Let's try another one. How about, let's try something a little bit trickier. How about F, yeah, let's do F sharp major. Let's try that. So here's F sharp, going up a whole step. Okay, now is this G sharp or is it A flat? Well, I said that all sharp keys have to keep using sharps, right? We can't switch to flat keys all of a sudden. So this is F sharp. The whole step up is going to be called G sharp. It would be incorrect to call it A flat. F sharp, G sharp. Okay, another whole step up, A sharp. A half step up, B. A whole step up, C sharp. Again, not D flat, right? We've got to stick with the sharps. Another whole step up, D sharp. Another whole step up. Now, this is a little tricky. I'm going to this white key. I cannot call it F. Can you think of why? I can't call it F because I started with F sharp. And remember, I can't have an F sharp and an F natural. So I have to call this, believe it or not, E sharp. This is where those enharmonics come in really, really important. This is called E sharp, even though it looks the same as F. Because there are two reasons. First, I already used F something. I've already called something F sharp. I can't call something F natural. And second, I have to have an E something, right? So this is E sharp. And finally, my last half step, I'm back to F sharp. Okay, this is the harder way to do things, but I think it's important to learn this way first because it kind of explains where this is coming from, the whole step, half step system. But I'll show you the easier way to do something. This requires that you know your key signatures. And if you don't, go back and watch those key signature videos. But I'll go ahead and make a clef here. I'll use treble clef. And let's say that I had to do a D major scale. Well, watch this. This is super easy. I'm going to start on the D, right? I'm going to choose this D so I can stay pretty much all in the staff. And I'm going to write all of my notes up to D. And all I have to do is write my D major key signature, right? If you remember when we talked about sharp key signatures, and if you don't, again, go back to one of those videos, but we take the D, that's our name of our key, we go down a half step, which would be C sharp, so D, down a half step, or a minor second, same thing, that's going to give us C sharp, that is the last sharp, right? And our order of sharps was F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Again, you have to have this memorized. You have to know your order of sharps to do this. Okay, if that's our last sharp, how many sharps do we have before that? Just one. There are two sharps, F, C. Put that in the key signature. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. That's the D major scale. Does it check out with our system here? Well, D, right, up a whole step would be E. Up another whole step would be F sharp. Right, up a half step is G. Up a whole step is A. So far checking out. Up another whole step is B. Up another whole step is C sharp. And up our final half step is D. This is the easier way to do it. You don't have to count half steps and whole steps. If you are competent with your key signatures, go ahead and do this. By the way, if you want to practice those key signatures, a great resource to use is musictheory.net. You can go to, there's exercises and you can go ahead and try going to key signatures, and it'll just do speed drills and you can really, really practice, get to know those really well. Let's try another one like this. Let's do bass clef this time. And let's do a flat key. Let's say I wanted to do A flat major, okay? Well, I'm going to start on the A line, the A space rather. I'm not going to worry about flats because I'm going to put that in the key signature. And I'm just going to write all of my notes from A to A. Okay, now, in the flat keys, we have to know the order of flats. That's B, E, A, D, G, C, F. And A would be my second to last flat, and I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. If that's my second to last flat, I should have 4 flats. B, E, A, D. There's my A flat major scale. So this is the easier way to do it. Just go ahead and write all the notes from bottom to top and add your key signature. Simple. Major scales.
If you found that video helpful, please click the subscribe button below to find more videos just like it.